You done? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
You
done.
did. Alright. Alright, cool. Fucking our next agenda. Innit? What is the agenda actually? Come on, what is it?
So today we're talking. Well, first of all, we're talking R. Kelly. So R. Kelly just got sentenced to 30 years in jail for
Dirty.
all this 30 years, bro. They're basically saying he organized a sex ring, like he was trafficking underage girls. Well, girls, some which are underaged, for sexual advances or sexual whatever. So he got 30 years in jail. So yeah, that's the initial topic. So and then we're also gonna combine that with so when it comes to people like R. Kelly or people similar to R. Kelly, can you separate the art from the artist? Meaning, are you still able to enjoy an R. Kelly song or play an R. Kelly song despite all the things that he's been doing? And we're not just limiting this to R. Kelly, by the way. It can apply to anyone who's been convicted or accused of similar things. So, we're going to start with skills this time because the nigga never stops. Skills. What you think?
Alright. So basically, can you separate the art from the artist? Like for me, you can't, man. Like, see, okay, and I think a lot of it also goes into the degree of crime that was done. I mean, I guess no crime is good technically, but like, I mean, sex trafficking. That's tragic. But to be honest, like, is the remix to Ignition like that shit slaps, yo. Like, I'm not suddenly going to stop fucking listening to that. Like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I personally, I can separate the arts from the artist. Like, see, I like everybody is different behind closed doors. I get it. He's a horrible person. Now we
Yeah.
know. Fine. If I see him on street, I'm not going to say what's up. But best believe when I get in my car, I'm gonna step in the name of love. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucking I'm cooking it. Not just R. Kelly though. I'm
Uh,
talking who else? Michael Jackson. I mean,
Yeah.
did Michael Jackson want to even no, but he busted kids though, didn't he? Like he didn't actually.
Allegedly, it was never actually proven, but yeah.
Yeah, but even during the old trials, my baby, it don't matter if you what? Yo. So for me personally, man, I don't know. I mean, if we take even artists out of it, like apparently this like huge. I mean, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but like this guy that like everybody likes to reference, this Gandhi guy, apparently was racist.
This
I'm
guy
just
said this
saying.
Gandhi guy.
yeah.
Apparently,
It's not
man
just
was
Gandhi.
racist.
Even like Winston Churchill was racist as shit.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, so I'm just saying. So for me, man,
But skills
nah.
doesn't matter that okay, someone like R. Kelly now, you say you get in your car, you're bumping step into the name of love. Doesn't matter that you're still putting money into his pockets, like by listening to
Yeah,
his
that's
music.
that's that's what
Oh,
I was
that's
going
the
to ask.
question now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, man. Is listen. Wait, hey, step. You
Oh my
what?
god.
Yeah, that is art, man. Like he did his thing, fam. Like, nah, it's cool. It is what it is. I mean, if a consequence of me listening to music is getting money, it just is what it is. Like, yeah.
Okay, wait, follow-up question though. When you hear okay, so if you're enjoying R. Kelly songs, yeah, and you
Mhm.
hear, okay, this guy is trafficking women, does it change the way the music sounds to you?
Oh, so ooh, okay. So basically, some of the lyrics might have then be, oh, this is actually what he was talking about.
Even not just the lyrics, cause like so if you're like the way you would enjoy an R. Kelly song before, if you put it on now, because of everything that's happened,
Yeah.
do you still feel the same way when you listen to it that you did before you knew about the allegations?
I think so. I think because it's not necessarily most of his songs, at least the popular ones, they're not like new songs. So really, at least
Mhm.
for me, it's really more like slightly nostalgic as to
The
oh, this was
nostalgic
the
feel.
vibes back then, as opposed
Right.
to
Yeah.
oh, exactly, yeah. I mean,
All right, Rose, what you think?
Man, for this one, I think I might heavily sit on the fence
Oh
because
my God.
oh
no,
yes,
no,
So
but
no, it's
still, blood.
because why I say that is, a lot of the things that R. Kelly has done, it's because it's public. I mean, some of our other favorite artists, they might even be co-conspirators in these things and all of that, but we don't know
Yes,
and
yes,
everything.
yes, true.
So at the end of the day, like we are blasting R. Kelly for doing this, but like several other artists that are also doing the same thing just because we don't know about it, like we're still jamming up to their music and all. So that's why I say like I'm sitting on the fence because it's a very touchy one. And you know, music is there's a difference between like music and like like physical relations. For example, now assuming now maybe R. Kelly was like a family friend of yours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean like
Look at that.
I mean like okay, yeah, he'd always come to the house and everything. You guys would stay, relate and all. But like the moment you find out like he's doing stuff like that, like obviously you distance yourself from him and you won't expose or
That's
allow
your
your
family
family.
member doing that scenario. Won't you at least talk to
Yeah,
him?
but still, you hear stuff like that. I mean, like you don't want to implicate yourself. Probably if you're not even, you were never aware and everything, and like bringing him to your own home. I don't know. You might raise question marks and all of that. But like with music, I don't know. Music is to a lot of people, music is like an escape
Mhm.
route. So people drown themselves in music. Sometimes they're not even so focused on the lyrics exactly. They just love the sound. It's quite catchy. I mean, there are so many songs that like you listen to the lyrics and they are not making sense, but like they are so catchy. And that's why I feel like it's a tough one. I mean, like you go through so many people's phones, If you check R. Kelly streams now, they're probably still in the millions, which shows that
Yeah.
like a lot of people are still listening to his music. So I believe it's quite tough to separate the artist from. I mean, like no, I mean
Yeah, I
it's
know what you mean. The
quite
art from
easy
the
for
artist.
people to separate the art from the artist. Yeah,
That's it.
So I was gonna say, I ain't gonna allow this nigga sit on the fence like that, bro. So Rose, with an artist that you know, forget what they do behind closed doors. An artist that you
yeah,
know, I said Kevin Spacey, R. Kelly or XXX Tentacion that had so many violent accusations against them. So those ones that you know what they did,
yeah.
can you personally still listen to that music?
Okay, let me give you an example because I don't really
Oh
listen to
god.
those artists.
All right, give me
No,
an
no, no,
example.
no. It's still
Give me an
along the
example.
line with what Kamal is saying. This Christian artist that I listen to, his name is Galvin, and I think it was earlier this year. Like apparently, they discovered that like he was sending like explicit photos to different women, and
Oh
he
shit.
was married, and like he even had an affair with a fellow Christian artist and all of that.
At least he keeping
And
it, within the family. No, that's not
You
cute.
guys say within the
and
family.
like eventually it led to his divorce with his wife, and like he has two kids and all. And I won't lie, I saw the news and I was disappointed. I was really, really disappointed because like Gavi was one of my favorite artists. I know, but like I'm not going to lie, I still jam up to his music. Like I
All
still
right.
play his songs, especially whenever I go to work. Like I always just put his songs and everything. Because there's this thing that one of my friends said to me. I don't know if I can get the message up.
All right.
So I I feel like oh, you guys should go on. If I get the message,
Yeah,
I'll,
okay. I was
I'll
gonna say, so while you're looking for the message, skills.
Mhm,
So when you're bumping your R. Kelly, yeah,
mhm,
I don't know if you do or if you don't, but let's say you did have a friend, a female friend,
mhm.
who's been through sexual violence. Do
Oh
you think that
god.
will affect? I ain't allowing you niggas escape shit today, bro. Do you think that will affect the way you look at the music or enjoy the music as well?
Um, nah. Yo, hey, nah. And y'all can come for me for this, but nah. But listen,
Explain why not now. Explain.
yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'm listening to R. Kelly because he made good music. Anyone could have made this music. I'm a fan of the music, not necessarily the artist. Like me personally, Sha, I'm not that type to like just dick ride one artist and listen to all the albums. I don't listen to albums.
Right.
I fuck with
Okay. Okay.
songs. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
so this nigga was stepping in the name of love. Like it's a tune. You know what I mean? I can't
Okay.
suddenly be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like nah. Like no, don't get me wrong. That's not just say I support a sexual assault or whatever. Like, no, like that's fucked up. You know what I mean? But me not listening to R. Kelly is not going to help you in any way. It's not going to help anybody in any way. Do you know what I'm saying?
What if
Like
it's like a show of solidarity that okay, if he's a sexual abuser or whatnot, I'm not listening to him to stand with the people who've been
that's
through
like an
sexual.
empty gesture, dude. That doesn't do anything. What does that do? Like,
If it happens on mass, will it still be an empty gesture?
but yeah, I mean, there are people that protest for empty gestures now. I mean, like they're wasting their time. I mean, so I like
So you just don't
Yeah.
believe it will make a difference, basically.
I don't think it will make a difference. Like that's what I'm saying. So even outside of like the R. Kelly one, if we're bringing some of the other crimes into it, like pedophilia and all that, I mean, we start taking like niggas like Michael Jackson. Like, yeah, but when he fucking made that jump, remember the time? What? Yo,
Billie Jean
I'm
is
not.
But
a
skills
fucking
like what if
Billie Jean is a
like
fucking
you look at some of the lyrics and like it's actually relating to some of those things that he's actually
That's
done.
rare. That's
I
rare. If
mean,
I
like
can, that's okay. That's a good question. If I can notice that, then I might be like, oh, alright. But that's not something that I've necessarily noticed. I mean, so like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like,
all right.
so
okay,
come
so
on,
I've,
you
I
though. Come
found
on.
the
Sorry,
I
sorry.
found
Yeah,
the
I'll
message.
go after Rose, don't worry.
Okay, so bear in mind that this is looking at music from like a Christian perspective. So my friend said that God does not give a gift and retrieve it. I can't remember the exact scripture that explains, but the music is either to edify one's soul and or glorify the Lord. If the artist is called to make music, even when they live in ways that are not exemplary or spiritual, the gift is still present. So I believe God can still minister through their music. Even a chipped cup can serve top grade wine. It's up to our discernment and conviction to choose to or not to listen. Doesn't mean we become less like Christ for doing so. We listen to the music and take in as we choose. The artist is nothing but a vessel. So
These are these evangelists get you, bro. Look how sweet
Yo,
words
the
coming
guy,
out of these guys.
I'm not the
Like,
guy always just sneaks in his 30 seconds of evangelism every episode. Yeah.
hey,
well,
yeah,
he made a very very solid point there, and like at the end of the day, we're all just vessels and all of that. So I mean, like people might want to do the exact same thing, like just say, okay, the artist might be a bad person, but then the music they are giving. I mean, like look at an artist like XXX. A lot of his songs, I believe, like helped a lot of people who were suffering from depression and everything, because like they were able to relate and all. But like when you look at the guy was actually a villain, a real life villain, and all of that before he died, unfortunately.
Mm.
So like, uh, that's why I say like I sit on the fence, because I mean, like Kama, what you said, I feel like to an extent there's a bit of conviction in our hearts, like when that artist's music now comes up, I'm just like, should I be doing this? And like you said,
that
you know,
little moment when you think
name love.
they can just say it's a vibe and you continue.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty much how it is for a
All
lot
right.
of.
Okay, so I'm not really like mad at you niggas for like the stance you have, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that feel the way you guys feel. I was coming at you guys with all these questions because these are some of the questions I ask myself when I find myself in this kind of situation, like R. Kelly song comes on the radio. Because at the end of the day, like Skill said, you're not gonna suddenly just hate these songs that you grew up on, because something came on. But I do think it can change the way you look at the song, at least for me personally. So with someone like R. Kelly now, I would never stream an R. Kelly song. I could download it, and listen to it on my phone, but I would never stream it just because I don't want to put any extra money into his pocket. So I would rather download it so he doesn't get shit.
That's what I'm saying. That's empty though. Like you're still listening to
No,
this
it
song.
doesn't matter. I'm just saying some of the things that people do, instead of
No,
streaming
what
their
will
songs.
you do? Are you talking about what you would do?
So me personally, I don't listen to R. Kelly. I don't listen
Okay.
to, but the other people it's a bit, because I never really listened to 6ix9ine. I never really listened to Kodak
Michael
Black.
Jackson.
I still listen to Michael Jackson.
Okay.
With Michael Jackson though, it was never really proven that he did whatever they accused him
What
of
about
doing.
Chris Brown?
But even if he did, I really don't listen to Chris Brown.
Okay.
But the Chris Brown one is a bit tough because he assaulted Rihanna. But when you listen to a lot of the conversations around the relationship, it seems like a very violent relationship on both ends. Similar to the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing, because the more I read about the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard thing, although a lot of people are praising Johnny Depp for getting the settlement or whatnot, but I have no doubt that this nigga actually abused her at some point. Because it just seemed like a very violent relationship. Nas was in a similar one with Khalees. I don't know if you guys know Khalees, but Khalees is bigger than Nas. So it ain't easy for Nas to just abuse Khalees and for her to not do anything. But when I heard about Nas and Khalees too, it seemed like a very violent relationship on both ends. So with those kind of relationships, it's a bit harder to like know how to approach them. But I think generally, if I say, can you separate the art from the artist? I think you can, depending on what the artist
Wait, what
did.
were you going to say about Michael Jackson before? Do you listen to Michael Jackson?
I listened to Michael Jackson, yeah. But I
You
said
still listen
Michael Jackson's. I still listen to Michael Jackson. Like I said, Michael Jackson's allegations were never proven to be anything. So yeah, yeah. So I never really got to the point of canceling him. R. Kelly, I can't remember the last time I played an R. Kelly song, and I actually do like R. Kelly songs. Just for me, whenever it comes on, I just think, nah, this nigga did all this shit, bro. And for me, I guess it depends on the line, like where you draw the line. So something like if you talk about someone like Tory Lanez that shot Meg The Stallion, for example, or allegedly shot Meg The Stallion, they say it's domestic violence. So for me, violence is not a line. At least not in that context where someone just got shot randomly. Like if it's in the context of a couple and a couple is abusive or a husband is abusive to a wife or a partner is abusive to another partner, that's a bit different. But random violence to me is not a line for me to just say I'm not going to listen to this guy ever again. Even though I don't really like Tory Lanez to begin with, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
Because I listen to too many rappers that are violent. Like I listen to Benny the Butcher. I watch battle rap for fuck's sake. So and almost every nigga in that shit claims to have shot a nigga at some point. So I can't draw the line at Tory Lanez suddenly shooting Meg The Stallion randomly out of a car, even though I allegedly anyway, because that story seemingly has a lot of potholes, but still, if that's what happened, I can't just draw the line at that kind of violence because I listen to too many guys that perpetrate violence in that way. But sexual assault for me
But
is
violence
just a
is
bit.
violence too.
Yeah, but for me, sexual assault is a bit different than just normal violence. Because sexual assault, and especially if you're talking underage girls, they are Kelly pissing on girls. I don't know if you guys watch Boondocks, but there was an episode
I've
on
seen that
Boondocks.
episode. Yeah, I've seen
You
it.
see that, bro?
Yeah, I've
I
seen
did
it.
not know that was a true story at the time when I even watched it. It's later when my brother was telling me like, "Yo, R. Kelly was pissing on girl." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Like I watched that shit on Boondocks like not long. I'm like, "Yeah, it's a true story," but I didn't know that shit was a true story, bro. And when you're talking underage girls and trafficking underage girls, like that's the song with T-Pain. T-Pain, one of my favorite artists. It's called "I'm a Flirt." And every time when the verse comes on "I'm a Flirt," I'm just like, what's this nigga talking about? So I think the max I can do is like if there's a song I like and R. Kelly has a verse on it, but it's not a song, then I can probably listen to it still. But like for me to go and stream an R. Kelly song in today's day and age, I don't know. XXX Tentacion, he was very abusive to his girlfriend. But I remember at the time, my thinking was, okay, so if his girlfriend forgave him for what he did, why can't I? And I think this will probably link to what we're going to talk about next, which is cancel culture. When XXX died, there was a lot of people celebrating his death because he was abusive. But then his girl, who he was abusive to, didn't want to take any case, dropped the case against him she had a while before that. Criminal cases isn't really in our control anyway. But she didn't want to pursue it. And then she made videos after he died talking about how great he was and how he had changed and whatnot. I think XXX was still a teenager when he did those things.
It was still coming
So
up.
yeah, it was still coming up. He was still learning. He was still changing. And that doesn't necessarily excuse the things he did. But I feel like in society, sometimes you don't give room for people to change. I've said this before. Like just because you were a certain way before doesn't mean you're always going to be that like forever. So XXX, when he died, I felt like there should have been a bit more compassion with the fact that he grew up in a violent neighborhood. He grew up around violence, and violence begets violence a lot of times. So if he perpetrates that violence to someone, but then realizes it was wrong after and changes, and that person he perpetrated that violence to forgives him, why should I, how many miles away, who was never even affected by this, say I can never forgive him for this when the person he did it to forgave him? So cancel culture is a bit tricky sometimes when it comes to that, but like skills, I don't know how you feel about cancel culture in general.
But the thing, one more thing I want to add for what Rose said. I agree with you. Actually, Rose was spitting, but and the thing that he's right. There are people that you don't really know who people are behind closed doors. Celebrities, they're often public figures, so they are weird shit. I mean, let's be honest. We've all done creepy shit in our lives. probably, hopefully, when we're much younger. I mean, so
Nigga, what you mean? What you
So
mean,
that's
nigga?
Rose,
What you mean
I
about
went to
that?
primary school with you. I know what the fuck you did, nigga. So listen,
What
so
did I
you
do?
have to
What
be
did I
able to
do?
learn.
Waste, man.
You have to be able to learn. You get me? Because you don't even. I know that people do weird shit, but I don't want to find out. Like literally, and this is random. But like one of my guys one time, like I was chilling in his house now. You know, we're chilling in his crib. It's almost like it's my crib. I mean, it's the brethren. And I was drinking water this one time. I didn't even think about it. And you know, from his cup and whatever. The guy was not telling the story later of how he eats us. And I'm like, I'm never drinking in your house again. I'm never drinking from your fucking cup again. What the fuck, bro? Now
The
it
nigga
probably
cleaned the
don't
cup
be.
though. Maybe he brushed his teeth, you know.
I don't give a fuck, yo. Fuck that. Man. Oh, you're right. It probably don't mean nothing, but like, yeah, I
But
don't know.
actually, even related to what you just said about not knowing what people do behind closed doors, even back to this XXX thing. When XXX died, I remember T-Pain tweeted, and he was like, a lot of the same people that want to cancel XXX and celebrate his death because he was violent towards his partner at a certain point in his life also have uncles and parents who did the same shit. But just because they never knew, they don't look at
Yeah.
it the same way. But some of them, even when they find out, they don't approach it the same way because it's family. And honestly, like I kind of thought of the same thing because we live in a Nigerian household, bro, and we know how shit is here. Like mad niggas think it's okay to beat their wife or slap their wife, and like ain't shit ever
Yeah.
get done about it. So, but then when you hear about a random celebrity somewhere doing the same shit, all of a sudden you're camping banners and having picket fences and shit. But like, bro, you're not doing the same shit in your house when it directly affects you. So if you can give Uncle Tolu a pass for whatever he did, even though knowing that nigga will never change in his life. Why can't you give a nigga that did that shit when he was 15? You know? Well, like, yeah, you can carry on, you can continue.